A phone screen glows at midnight. Fingers hover over a message never sent. The same words, unsaid, loop in the mind. Regret, carving a familiar groove. You check their silence again, expecting a reason that never comes. It's not the loss that binds. It's the habit of holding on. Why search for answers when the absence already speaks? You think explaining will unlock the past, but explanations only tighten the chain. Every revisit to that moment, another pull into the same void. The mind begs for closure, yet closure is a lie you keep chasing. Each night, spent replaying their words, erodes the present. The hours stack, unnoticed. Presence slips through the cracks. You don't see it draining, but the weight grows heavier. Regret isn't just memory. It's a system running on repeat, consuming what's left of now. You cannot change what is past, Seneca said, but you can ruin the present by dwelling on it. A river flows forward, not back. Clinging to its banks only muddies the water. The past doesn't need your grip. It needs no anchor at all. What if you stopped scrolling through their absence, and the pain stopped pulling? You think you're preserving what was, but are you just delaying what is? The choice isn't to forget. It's to unhook from a weight that serves no truth. Regret isn't a lesson. It's a reflex. The years don't erase it. They only make it louder. To pause now is to see the loop for what it is. You think regret keeps the past alive. It keeps it meaningful. It's proof you cared. Proof it mattered. You hold it close, like a weight that defines you. But what does it preserve? A moment gone. A truth that doesn't shift. The more you grip, the deeper it cuts. Regret doesn't honor what was. It traps you in what isn't. You tell yourself it's reflection, not obsession. You're learning from it, not drowning in it. But each time you revisit, the same scene plays. The same words. The same silence. Nothing changes. Except you. Less present. Less clear. The mind spins and calls it progress. What if regret isn't wisdom, but a lie you repeat? You think it holds answers, but it only holds you. The past doesn't need your loyalty. It needs nothing at all. To keep carrying it is to choose the chain. To drop it is to see the present for the first time. Lesson 1. Clinging to explanations. The mind hunts for reasons late at night, scrolling through old chats, searching for a word that might unlock the past. You pause on a message unanswered. Why did they leave? What did you miss? The questions spiral, each one a hook, sinking deeper. You think an answer will free you, that understanding will ease the pain. But the search itself is the weight. Every revisit to their silence, another moment stolen from now. The cost isn't just time. Each loop erodes awareness, clouds the present with a fog of what was. You don't notice it slipping, but the clarity you need to move forward fades. The mind, stuck in its own trap, replays the same scene, expecting a different ending. It doesn't come. The more you chase explanations, the less you see. Regret isn't born from their absence. It's built by your refusal to let the question die. You have power over your mind, not external events. Epictetus said, "A truth sharp as a blade." To demand reasons from a void is to beg a ghost for mercy. The past owes you nothing, no clarity, no closure. Yet you keep asking, as if their silence holds your truth. It doesn't. The answer you seek is a chain you forge yourself. Stop. Withdraw from the urge to dissect. Let the question sit unanswered. It's not surrender, It's command. The reflex to explain is a habit, not a need. Break it. Look at the screen and choose not to search. The pain may linger, but the loop can end. One choice, one moment of silence is enough to start. You don't owe anything. The weight of that choice lingers. It's not relief, not yet. It's a shift, a crack in the reflex that pulls you back. The mind resists, wants to return to the familiar ache. But something else is possible. A different response. Lesson 2. Chasing closure. You stand at the edge of their absence, reaching for a resolution that doesn't exist. A text drafted, deleted, drafted again. You imagine their response. A word to tie the loose ends. Closure seems like freedom, a way to seal the past and step forward. But each attempt to grasp it pulls you deeper into loss. You chase a phantom, believing it will quiet the ache. Contrast this: the one who chases and the one who steps back. The first runs toward a void, heart racing, mind clouded. Every unanswered message, another weight on the chest. The second pauses, breathes, lets the silence be. No pursuit, no plea. The first is trapped by attachment, the second freed by detachment. The difference isn't effort, it's choice. Chasing closure builds a cage. Each attempt to force an ending deepens the wound. You lose hours, days, to a story that's already over. The mind, desperate for control, invents narratives, but none hold truth. The cost is presence, the only ground you truly own. You trade it for a lie that someone else can end your pain. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." To chase closure is to live in a dream of what might be said. Reality is simpler, colder. They're gone. No words will change that. The reflex to pursue is a chain you can unhook. Stop drafting the message. Stop waiting for their reply. Let the story end incomplete. Choose detachment, not as defeat, but as command. Turn off the screen. Walk away. The urge will surge. Let it pass. Each moment you resist is a step towards stillness. The past doesn't need your ending. It needs your release. Let go isn't weakness. The pause holds a fragile victory. But the mind, restless, seeks another escape. The urge to hide sharpens its edge. Lesson 3. Suppressing pain. Pain is a locked room. You seal the door thinking it's contained. You smile through meetings, nod at questions, say, "I'm fine." The ache sits heavy, but you push it down. Suppress it, and it won't leak, you tell yourself. It won't disrupt the surface, won't make you seem weak, but the room grows smaller. The walls press closer. Each time you lock it tighter, the pain grows louder. Imagine a wound ignored. It festers, unseen. You don't feel it spread, but it poisons every step. Suppressing pain doesn't erase it. It seeps into your thoughts, colors your silence. You snap at a stranger, scroll mindlessly, wake at 3 a.m. with a weight you can't name. The cost isn't just the ache, it's the loss of clarity. You trade presence for a fragile mask. You must face what you fear, Marcus Aurelius said, a blade cutting through excuses. To suppress is to run from truth. Pain isn't the enemy, your refusal to see it is. It's a signal, not a sentence. Lock it away, and it rules you. Open the door, and it loses its grip. Don't push it down, breathe through it. Sit with the ache, let it rise, let it fall. No words, no fixes, just witness it. The reflex to hide is a habit, not strength. Break it. Feel the weight without running. Each breath is a step toward ground. The pain may stay, but it won't drive. Pain doesn't mean truth. The room opens, but the ache lingers. A moment of truth doesn't erase the pull to escape. The cycle persists unless you see it. 70% of people revisit old messages years after a breakup. It solves nothing. The screen lights up, the past stays dark. Lesson 4. Overthinking silence. Their silence sits heavy, a void you can't resist filling. You lie awake, replaying their last words, their last look. What did it mean? Why won't they speak? The mind spins, crafting reasons, excuses, blame. You overthink, believing the answer lies in their absence. Each thought, another thread in a web that traps you. You think you're solving, but you're sinking. The cost is subtle, but brutal. Hours vanish, stolen by a puzzle with no solution. Your focus frays, your presence thins. You miss the day unfolding, lost in a script that never resolves. Overthinking doesn't clarify, it clouds. It turns silence into a mirror, reflecting your own fear. The longer you stare, the less you see. Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to," a warning carved in stone. To overthink silence is to worship a ghost. Their quiet isn't your truth, it's just quiet. The reflex to dissect it is a choice, not a necessity. You feed the loop with every question you ask. Choose to observe, not invent. Let their silence be a blank page, not a riddle. Pause the questions, breathe into the quiet. The urge to analyze will surge. Let it pass. Each moment you resist builds awareness. The silence doesn't hold answers. It holds nothing. Your task is to hold nothing, too. Silence isn't surrender. The quiet settles, but the mind still stirs. Another weight waits heavier than silence. Lesson 5. Holding on to shame. Shame runs like faulty code, a loop that blames you for what's gone. You replay the moment, the words you said, the ones you didn't. You should have been better, stronger, enough. The mind convicts you, sentences you to carry the fault. You hold on, thinking shame is justice. It's not. It's a system error, eating away at your core. Each cycle of blame corrodes self-command. You withdraw from others, not to protect, but to punish. The world dims. Conversations fade. You don't notice it, but shame steals your ground. It whispers you're flawed, unworthy. You believe it, and the loop tightens. The cost isn't just regret. It's the loss of who you could be. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not think it." Shame lies. It calls your worth a debt you owe. To hold on is to run a program that serves no truth. The reflex to punish yourself is a choice, not a verdict. You can shut it down. Disengage from the blame. See the thought. Don't fuel it. It's not truth. It's noise. Step back. Breathe. Let the judgment pass. The urge to condemn will rise. Let it fall. Each moment you resist rebuilds inner weight. Shame doesn't define you. Your response does. Detachment is a form of respect. The code breaks, but the mind still scans for errors. Another reflex waits, ready to pull you back. Lesson 6. Reacting to rejection. Rejection cuts like a blade. Sudden, precise. A message ignored. A call unanswered. You feel it in your chest. A reflex to respond. You draft a reply. Delete it. Draft again. You want to explain, to fix, to make them see you. The urge to react surges, promising control. It lies. Each response feeds the wound, not the truth. The cost is immediate. Self-command unravels. You pace, check your phone, lose hours to a single slight. The mind races, crafting defenses, accusations. You don't see it, but rejection steals your center. It turns you into a shadow, chasing their approval. The more you react, the less you hold. Seneca said, "You have power over your response, not their actions." To react is to hand them your mind. Rejection isn't your verdict, it's their choice. The reflex to fight it is a loop you can break. You don't need their answer, you need your own. Pause. Before you respond, feel the sting. Let it pass. Don't text, don't call. Step back, breathe, reclaim your ground. The urge to react will burn. Let it cool. Each moment you wait builds cold peace. Their silence isn't your worth. Your silence is your strength. You don't have to react. The pause holds a fragile victory. But another void waits, tempting you to fill it. A tree doesn't chase its fallen leaves. It grows new ones. The past takes nothing unless you give it roots. Lesson 7. Escaping emptiness. Emptiness yawns like a chasm, cold, vast, relentless. You feel it in the silence, after the phone goes dark, after the noise fades. The reflex kicks in. Scroll, swipe, consume. You open apps, chase headlines, fill the hours with sound. You think you're escaping, outrunning the void. You're not. Each distraction pulls you deeper into its grip. You believe the noise fills, but it hollows. Hours vanish, yet the emptiness remains. You don't see it, but every click, every scroll trades presence for numbness. The mind, desperate to flee, builds a cage of its own. You lose ground, not to the void, but to your flight from it. The cost isn't time, it's the loss of being here. Epictetus said, "If you seek truth, you must face what you avoid." To escape emptiness is to deny its lesson. The void isn't punishment, it's a mirror. Run from it, and it grows. Face it, and it shrinks. The reflex to fill it is a lie you can unhook. Be here, don't flee. Close the app. Sit with the quiet. Feel the weight. Let it settle. The urge to escape will surge. Let it pass. Each moment you stay builds awareness. Emptiness isn't the enemy, your resistance is. The void doesn't need filling, it needs seeing. The void is where it clears. The quiet holds, but the mind still twists. Another reflex waits, subtle, insidious. Lesson 8. Pleasing others. You nod. Smile. Agree. You shift your words, soften your edges to keep them close. Their approval feels like ground, a shield against invisible wounds. You please, thinking it binds them to you. It doesn't. Each concession carves away your center. You say yes when you mean no. You laugh when you feel nothing. You stay when you want to leave. Each act of pleasing builds a mask. The cost creeps in. Discipline phrase. You lose your voice, your ground. Their nod isn't worth the weight you carry. Seneca said, "He who lives for others lives for none." To please is to trade self-command for a fleeting glance. Their approval is not your truth. The reflex to bend is a chain you forge. Sigh less, Don't perform. Step back. Let their judgment fall. The urge to please will rise. Let it pass. Each silence builds rule-based strength. You don't need their eyes to stand. Bad not doing is power too. The mask cracks, but the urge to fit lingers. Another trap waits, softer yet heavier. I need their respect. You need your own. I can't disappoint them. You already have by losing yourself. Say less and stand. Lesson 9. Hoping blindly. A notification blinks. Your heart jumps. It's not them, but you check anyway. You wait at the edge of their absence, believing they'll return. A message, a call, a sign. You hope blindly, thinking it keeps the past alive. It doesn't. It buries you in grief. The scene is stark. A phone untouched, yet it pulls you back. Each hope builds a fragile bridge. You cross it daily, expecting solid ground. It collapses every time. The cost isn't just disappointment. It's the theft of presence. You miss the day, the hour, the breath. The mind, locked in waiting, loses its edge. You don't see it, but hope blindly blinds you. Marcus Aurelius said, "Stop hoping, and you stop fearing." To hope blindly is to chain yourself to a ghost. Their return isn't your truth. The reflex to wait is a loop you feed. Break it. Unhook from the fantasy. Put the phone down. Don't check. Feel the grief. Let it pass. The urge to hope will surge. Step back. Breathe. Each moment you resist builds detached strength. The past doesn't need your waiting. It needs nothing. Your task is to move. You can end without drama. The hope fades, but the mind still searches. Another weight waits, colder, sharper. Lesson 10. Avoiding truth. Truth is a blade, cold, unyielding. You feel its edge when you wake alone with no distractions. It whispers what you won't say. They're gone. You failed. It's over. You avoid it. Turn away. You fill the day with noise, work, screens, chatter. You think you're moving forward. You're not. Each dodge dulls your awareness. Avoiding truth builds a fragile wall. You don't feel it crack, but it does. Moments slip, clarity fades. You snap at small things, lose focus, drift. The mind, fleeing truth, traps itself. The cost isn't just denial, it's the loss of ground. You trade reality for a shadow that comforts but binds. Seneca said, "The truth is heavy, but it sets you free. To avoid it is to carry a heavier load. Truth doesn't bend, your refusal does. The reflex to run is a choice you can break. Face it, don't flinch. SCE the truth. Don't hide. Sit with it. No noise, no escape. Feel its weight. Let it settle. The urge to avoid will rise. Let it pass. Each moment you face it builds inner weight. Truth doesn't destroy. Your fear of it does. Truth isn't the enemy. Your flight is. The blade rests, but the mind still resists. Another reflex lurks, quiet, yet heavy. 90% of regret comes from unsaid words, yet saying them now changes nothing. The past holds no debts, only you do. Lesson 11. Denying loss. You hold the memory tight. A photo, a text, a moment. It's yours. Proof it was real. You deny the loss. Believing keeping it close keeps you whole. You replay it. The laugh, the promise, the warmth. It feels like strength, but it's a chain. Each grip pulls you from now. Contrast this. One clings, one releases. The first hoards fragments, a shrine to what was. Every glance deepens the ache. The mind stalls, stuck in a loop of loss. The second lets go, not erasing, but unhooking. They breathe, see the day, stand free. The first is bound, the second grounded. The difference isn't memory, it's choice. Denying loss costs presence. You don't feel it slip, but it does. Hours fade, focus frays. You miss the world, chasing ghosts. The mind, tethered to what's gone, loses its edge. You trade being here for a weight that pulls you back. Marcus Aurelius said, "The present is all you have. Don't let the past steal it. To deny loss is to live in a lie. What's gone doesn't need your grip. The reflex to hold is a habit you can break. Release, not the memory, but the chain. Step into now. Don't linger. Put the photo down. Close the chat. Feel the loss. Let it pass. The urge to cling will rise. Breathe. Let it fall. Each moment you unhook builds centered strength. Loss doesn't define you. Your response does. You can let go without forgetting. The chain loosens, but the mind still hesitates. Another fear waits, silent, yet sharp. Lesson 12. Fearing silence. Silence falls, heavy, unyielding. No notifications, no voices, just you. The mind recoils. It feels like a void, a trap. You reach for noise, music, scrolling, anything. You fear silence, believing it will swallow you. It won't. The fear itself is what binds you. Each escape deepens the dread. What's the cost? Presence slips, unnoticed. You fill the quiet, but lose your ground. The mind, fleeing silence, grows restless. You don't see it, but every distraction dulls awareness. You trade clarity for a shield that doesn't hold. The fear of silence isn't fear of nothing. It's fear of seeing. Epictetus said, "In silence you meet yourself. To fear it is to run from truth." Silence isn't empty, it's a mirror. The reflex to drown it is a choice you feed. Break it. Sit with it. Don't flee. Let the quiet be. No noise, no rush. Feel the weight, let it settle. The urge to escape will surge. Breathe. Let it pass. Each moment you stay builds witness. Silence doesn't hide answers. It reveals you. Your task is to face it. Silence is where you see. The quiet holds, but the mind still twists. Another reflex waits, softer, yet heavier. Seneca faced exile, alone on a barren island. He wrote, "The mind is its own place. Make it a fortress." Silence was his ground, not his cage. Lesson 13. Seeking validation. You post, you wait. A like, a comment, a sign you exist. You adjust your words, your image, to fit their gaze. You seek validation, thinking it fills the gap. It doesn't. Each nod from them is a hook in your skin. You bend to keep their eyes and lose your own. The cost creeps in. Self-command phrase. You check the screen. Again. Again. Hours slip. Focus fades. You don't feel it, but every glance outward dulls your center. The mind, chasing their approval, trades presence for a fleeting glow. You become their mirror, not your own. Seneca said, "He who needs others' praise is not free. To seek validation is to lease your worth. Their nod isn't your truth. The reflex to please them is a loop you can break. Withdraw from their gaze. Don't post. Don't check. Step back. Breathe. The urge to be seen will surge. Let it pass. Ach Moment you resist. Builds innerweit. You don't need their eyes to stand. Your task is to see yourself. You don't need their nod. The gaze lifts, but the mind still stirs. Another weight waits, quiet yet heavy. Lesson 14. Crafting narratives. You lie awake, weaving a tale. They left because you weren't enough, or because they couldn't see you. You build a story, each detail a brick in a wall. You craft narratives, thinking they explain the pain. They don't. Each thread you spin tightens the trap. The story feels true, but it's a cage. The cost is subtle. Awareness dims. You lose hours, days, to a script that never resolves. The mind, locked in its own tale, misses the present. You don't notice, but every retelling steals clarity. You trade reality for a fiction that binds. The narrative isn't truth. It's a reflex you feed. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." To craft narratives is to stain your mind with lies. Their absence isn't your story. The reflex to explain is a loop you can break. Disengage from the tale. Let the story drop. Don't add another line. Feel the pain without a reason. The urge to narrate will rise. Breathe. Let it pass. Each moment you resist builds ground. The truth doesn't need your script. It needs silence. Stories bin. Silence frees. The tale unravels, but the mind still searches. Another reflex waits. Colder, sharper. Why did they leave? You don't need the answer. I have to understand. No, you have to stop, disengage, and breathe. Lesson 15. Controlling the past. You replay the moment again. If you'd said this, done that, they'd still be here. You rework the scene, sculpting a past that fits. You control the past, thinking it soothes regret. It doesn't. Each revision deepens the cut. The mind spins, but the past stays fixed. The cost is heavy. Presents phrase. You lose hours, locked in a fight you can't win. The mind, chasing what was, misses what is. You don't see it, but every rewrite dulls awareness. You trade now for a battle that serves no truth. Controlling the past isn't power, it's surrender. Seneca said, "No man is free who cannot command himself." To control the past is to chain your mind to stone. What's gone owes you no rewrite. The reflex to reshape it is a loop you can break. Release the urge to fix. Let the moment stand unchanged. Feel the regret. Don't reshape it. The urge to control will surge. Breathe. Let it pass. Eich Moment you resist builds cold peace. The past doesn't need your script. It needs nothing. You can't change what was, only what is. The past settles, but the mind still stirs. Another weight waits, quiet, yet sharp. Lesson 16. Running from failure. Failure stings. A missed chance, a broken bond. You feel it sharp, in the quiet, in the mirror. You run, Bury it in work, noise, plans. You think you're past it. Stronger now. You're not. Each step away tightens its grip. Failure isn't the wound. Your flight is. You don't see the cost, but it mounts. Awareness dims. Focus phrase. You push harder, achieve more, yet the sting lingers. The mind, fleeing failure, builds a fragile shell. You lose ground, not to the mistake, but to your refusal to face it. Running trades self-command for a lie. Marcus Aurelius said, "The obstacle is the way, not the end." To run from failure is to dodge your path. Failure isn't shame, it's truth. The reflex to hide is a loop you feed. Break it. Face it, don't flee. Sit with the sting. No excuses. Feel the weight. Let it settle. The urge to run will surge. Breathe. Let it pass. Each moment you stay builds inner weight. Failure doesn't break you. Your fear does. You don't fall by failing. You fall by hiding. The sting settles, but the mind still resists. Another reflex lurks, softer, yet heavier. A man lost his fortune. Rome burned his home. Seneca wrote, "I am not crushed. I am tested." Failure was his forge, not his grave. Lesson 17. Chasing perfection. You strive. Always better. Always more. A flaw glares back. A missed word. A faltered step. You chase. Perfection. Believing it will silence regret. It won't. Each push sharpens the ache. You think you're building, but you're breaking. Perfection isn't freedom. It's a cage. The cost is silent. Presents, fades. You lose hours, tweaking, fixing. Never done. The mind, hunting flawlessness, misses now. You don't feel it, but every chase dulls. Awareness. You trade ground for a goal that shifts. Chasing perfection isn't strength. It's denial of what is. Epictetus said, "Progress, not perfection, is the aim." To chase perfection is to reject your truth. Flaws aren't failure, they're you. The reflex to erase them is a loop you feed. Break it. Accept. Don't refine. See the flaw. Let it stand. Feel the urge to fix. Let it pass. Breathe. Stay here. Each moment you resist builds ground. Perfection doesn't free you. Your choice does. Flaws aren't chains. Your chase is. The chase slows, but the mind still stirs. Another weight waits. Quiet, yet sharp. Lesson 18. Numbing anxiety. Anxiety hums. A current beneath the skin. It wakes you at dawn, tightens your chest. You reach for relief. A drink, a screen, a rush. You numb it, thinking it quiets the storm. It doesn't. Each escape deepens the grip. The calm is brief. The anxiety returns, sharper. The cost is unseen. Self-command erodes. You lose focus, drift through days. The mind, fleeing anxiety, builds a fragile shell. You don't notice, but every distraction steals clarity. You trade presence for a pause that doesn't last. Numbing isn't control. It's surrender. Seneca said, "What you fear, you must face." To numb anxiety is to feed its power. The current isn't your enemy. Your flight is. The reflex to dull it is a loop you can break. Breathe through. Don't run. Feel the hum. Let it rise. Sit with it. No fixes. The urge to numb will surge. Breathe. Let it pass. Each moment you stay builds inner weight. Anxiety doesn't rule. Your response does. You don't need to numb. You need to see. The current settles, but the mind still twists. Another reflex waits. Colder. Heavier. I can't handle this. You already are. It's too much. It's just a wave. Breathe. Stay. Still. And it passes. Lesson 19. Searching for meaning. You sift through the pain, seeking a lesson, a purpose. Why did it happen? What was it for? You search for meaning, believing it will make the loss bearable. It won't. Each question tightens the knot. The mind spins, crafting a story to soften the edge. It doesn't. The search is the weight. The cost is subtle. Present slips. You lose hours chasing a truth that doesn't exist. The mind, locked in questions, misses. Now, you don't see it, but every why dulls awareness. You trade clarity for a puzzle with no answer. Searching for meaning isn't wisdom. It's a reflex that binds. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish. Accept them as they are." To search for meaning is to fight what is. The pain needs no purpose. It just is. The reflex to explain is a loop you can break. Let go of the question. Sit with the pain, no answers. Feel the urge to search. Let it pass. Breathe. Stay here. Each moment you resist builds ground. Meaning doesn't heal. Silence does. Pain doesn't need a reason. It needs space. The questions drop, but the mind still stirs. One final waits quiet, yet sharp. Lesson 20. Dreading aloneness. Aloneness looms, a shadow in the quiet. No voices, no eyes, just you. The mind recoils. It feels like a void, a sentence. You reach for connection, a text, a call, a crowd. You dread aloneness, believing it will break you. It won't. The fear itself is the chain. Each escape tightens its grip. The cost is unseen. Self-command fades. You lose hours, chasing presence that isn't yours. The mind, fleeing aloneness, drifts from its center. You don't notice, but every reach outward dulls awareness. You trade ground for a comfort that doesn't hold. Dreading aloneness isn't survival. It's denial of strength. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power within, why seek it elsewhere?" To dread aloneness is to reject your own truth. The quiet isn't empty, it's yours. The reflex to flee is a loop you can break. Embrace, don't run. Sit in the quiet, no noise. Feel the dread, let it rise. Breathe, let it pass. Each moment you stay builds inner weight. Aloneness doesn't diminish, it reveals. You are enough, alone. The shadow lifts, but the quiet remains. 80% of people fear being alone, yet solitude forged Seneca's wisdom. Aloneness isn't loss, it's where you stand. The phone lies dark, no glow, no pull. The room is still, only breath moves. Hands rest, no urge to reach. A message unwritten, a loop unbroken. The silence holds, not heavy, not empty, just here. You didn't react, didn't chase. A moment passed, without the old weight. Not fixed, not healed, just still. The pain lingers, but it doesn't drive. You stood in the quiet, alone. That's enough. What if you stayed here? And nothing pulled you back. No answers. No reasons. Just now. The mind doesn't need to run. Doesn't need to fix. It can rest in the space you made. Stillness is enough.